SmackDown Live!
Hello. Live. And I am Tonya Rodgers here with the lovely andrewmswift.
Hello,
Give it up for Andrew. He does writing
I do.
on the site. I've lost my love for writing, but I have not lost my love for talking smack like Daniel Bryan has.
D-Bry. Oh, man.
We were just marking it's on before this one, so it's cool to watch this. Watch Talking Smack after Smack. Even if you don't watch SmackDown, on the network, Daniel Bryan is going to give you something to talk about every week.
Daniel Bryan.
More than one thing, probably.
More than several things. I'm pretty certain Daniel Bryan called Natalya boring. I popped real big for that.
And he just called out Ambrose, calling Brock Lesnar lazy.
Yeah.
And he was kind of trolling Eva Marie. He was messing with her a little bit. She couldn't get what she wanted to say together. You could tell she was kind of not prepared. And Daniel Bryan kept poking her, come on, say something. Think on the spot. You're a pro wrestler. What are you doing here? He almost said that to her.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan is the best thing. Talking smack, he takes the show literally. It's the best thing. And Renee Young's hey, if I don't say it, I'm not going to get fired for it, right?
Right. Yeah, she's you can say stuff, Daniel Bryan. I'll just nod here and laugh.
And laugh and, move on.
Yeah, D-Bry doesn't know if it's a shoot or kayfabe. Or if kayfabe is a shoot. I don't know what his game is.
It's very good, though. I like it. So we're going to switch up this week. We're going to talk about the Raw stuff at the end of the show.
Yeah.
We're just going to jump right on into this big bowl of SmackDown Live soup, shall we?
SDL, babe.
The show started with the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
and his acolyte, as JBL called him, Eric Rowan. They came out to the ring. Bray Wyatt. I love his promo style, but of course, I've been down on him for a very long time because his character is ineffective.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I think the way he's written, he's full of hot air. And I know he's a heel and he's supposed to get his comeuppance, but, it's fool me once, shame on you. In time, shame on me. So it's kind of hard to believe anything Bray says. So called himself a victim. And because of the match last week where Dolph used the
steel
exposed turnbuckle to him.
Yeah.
That was the only way that Dolph would have won that match. And he stole something. And you know how Bray feels when he thinks you took something. He stalked Roman Reigns for 4 months because of something similar. And that's how I'm feeling. Bray's not about to go away. We're going to see a whole lot of Bray in the main event. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, he's just a third player in the main event feud, but not actually in the main event feud. Oh man, he's totally going to get involved in the title match in Barclays, isn't he?
And I'm not excited for this at all.
Oh shit.
That's the issue. I really wanted it to be Ziggler, and really liked their promo against each other last week.
Yeah.
And then you got Bray sticking his head in. Boop, here we go. There you go. So Dean comes out, and Dean's he makes fun of him a little bit. And he's like, I'm not going to come down there and fight you because that's what you want. You want to beat me up. Not that stupid. And then Ziggler just runs on out. Said, I'll get beat up. I'm doing
it. I'm running straight in.
And so Ambrose showing that he has a good side to him because he could have just let Ziggler get beat up. But he got involved. And he paid for it.
Yeah.
And somehow Bray Wyatt once again ended that segment standing tall.
Yep.
And that led to a tag team match, player, in the main event. Of course, when we saw this coming, Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan versus Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler. This was the part of the show the most where it felt like I was watching a SmackDown that I used to review. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You feel it? So, I really don't. I just wanted to be Ambrose and Ziggler. Like if you gave me Ziggler as a challenger, just do something with that.
Yep.
I understand they need something for Bray to do, but I just don't really like him meddling.
Yeah, the promo that Ziggler and Ambrose cut, as you said last week, that was like that may have been
a lot of meat to it.
Yeah, it had a lot of good stuff, a lot of really good character work to it. I think it might have been the best part of the show, frankly. And I was looking forward to that. I was like, well, I hope they build off that stuff, for this week. And maybe Wyatt interfered for a week, and he'll back away and let this actual feud develop, because we only have one more show before SummerSlam now, and we didn't get any more development on the main event feud. We got the accidental super kick and then the dirty deeds at the end, which I did like the dirty deeds at the end, but I wanted them to flesh out what they're fighting about here more, and we didn't get that tonight. And I was pretty disappointed about that, to be honest. And I never thought I'd ever say I would be disappointed about not hearing more of a Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler promo battle, but here we are, I guess. It's 2016,
They really worked. They did some good work last week, and I don't think that was built upon. That's always been my problem with Dean. He had on his build up on his match with Brock. It was one SmackDown when they were showing him doing promos in different locations, and I think they were in Cincinnati.
In Cincinnati. Yeah.
And he was at first he was it's outside the bridge, and he was in a bar and all those promos, and I was reviewing the show getting upset because I was like, he's doing all this good work for nothing. Yeah. And that's kind of I'm going to keep the faith, and maybe they'll do something with it, but that was the one thing I was kind of disappointed with.
The opener and the close for the show were both the main event angle, the WWE World Championship angle, and that was kind of the weakest part of tonight's show, which was kind of a bummer, because a lot of the rest of the show there's some quality stuff. Some good little stuff here. Yeah.
So I want to go straight to the women because I'm excited about that, and we can talk about the people with penises later.
Yeah. This ain't P Watch, all right? That's Cage Side Live, folks.
So, once again, Eva Marie was set to face against the last kicker, Becky Lynch, in a one-on-one match. Supposedly, Eva Marie's debut on SmackDown Live.
Spectacular debut.
Yes, spectacular. I'm sorry. This match did not happen because right before the match started, the strap around Eva Marie's neck on her top just popped off. And the referee handed her a towel, and she ran off. But unlike last week where there was no match, they asked Becky how she felt, and Becky was like, well, I don't care if I'm sick. I could be damn near dead. I came here to fight. I want to fight. So, great little interview from Becky.
Right.
And that brings out somebody that Andrew's been waiting for, Alexa Bliss. I'm going to let you take over and talk about this.
I was worried as soon as because I knew as soon as Becky started cutting that promo, I was like, this is Alexa's coming out here. There's no doubt at all. They're not bringing out Naomi right now. This is Alexa's spot to shine. And I was worried. I was like, well, I don't really want to see Becky take a loss here, but Alexa really can't take a loss in her TV debut. But not spectacular, but it was her debut. But they did it pretty well, I think. They got Alexa in, doing a little bit of mic work before the match. Not a ton of stuff, not just a little tease of what she's capable of, which is good. You should leave us wanting more. And then we got to the match.
Yeah, I think she was good, though, in the match.
Oh, yeah.
She was fine.
Yeah, her ring work is really improved substantially in 2016 a lot. I don't think there's any doubt about it at all. It's very smooth, still slightly mechanical, but not nearly to the extent of someone like Carmella, who we'll talk about in a little bit.
He looks mean too. Like when she was
she's mean, Becky, yeah.
She's tiny, but I bought that she was actually,
Yep.
beating Becky. I was like, damn, Alexa, back up. Wait a minute. It's just a match.
Hold on, bro.
She's pissed off in her debut.
Yeah, okay. she's always pissed off, though. That's her thing. And it's, her facial expression, her eyes are just amazing. I highly encourage anyone who doesn't watch NXT to, whenever you see Alexa come out on SmackDown Live, just to follow her facial expressions and her eyes. She's one of the best of the company at emoting, and granted that she doesn't do like an extreme like range, it's mostly just like annoyed to like furious, but she does those like several notes so very well, and I really highly encourage people to dive deeper into her stuff. But I thought I had wanted.
We're not doing phrases.
I know.
Dive deeper.
Whoops.
I'm sorry. I'm a little immature.
Oh man. Woo. Okay. I'm blushing a little bit here now. Ooh. I had wanted her to see her get a squash match maybe, because she's really incredible in squash matches and just displaying like utter vindictiveness and cruelty to random, local talent opponents. But I thought she did well with Becky here, and obviously, it's nice that they did a lot of good things in this women's segment. They got Becky with her promo, like, I just want to be a fighter, like, this is bullshit, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. They have Alexa come out like, oh, I'm going to beat the #1 female like draft pick on SmackDown. And then she does. She backs it up. So that makes her look good. And Ava Marie, when her music hit again, I was just like, oh, thank the Lord, this is going to happen. And like, I don't even think she was like deliberately trying to do like a heel interference gimmick. Like, she's not like aware of that. She's just so lost in her own world. And the announcer's like, all right, now Eva's actually ready to compete. I was just like, holy shit, this guy's just he's shooting now on her wardrobe malfunction. I love that. And then they started doing her intro again. I was just like, oh, that was an A+. That was an A+ right there. And I know I had, once the wardrobe malfunction happened, I was like, oh, of course Vince is doing a fucking wardrobe malfunction with Ava Marie, Of course this is how he's doing it. But it worked. It worked perfectly for the story that they're doing.
Vince also knows his audience, because a lot of people, apparently Stephanie and Lana, deserve violence.
Yeah, right? Jesus.
But, okay, anyway, we're going to move on to Carmella versus Natalya. Now, I want to say, like Natalya, here and there. I thought, before we go any further, Natalya was good. It was the same match she had with Becky, but she learned how to taunt. Or maybe she didn't, it seemed like she didn't care about, making fun of Carmella. Whereas she's like, oh, Becky's very pretty. I'm like, what kind of insult is that when you got somebody in submission?
Yeah.
And she got into Carmella. She's like doing her whole stick and turning it around on. It's like, you want to be a lady wrestler, do you? Huh? She sat on her.
She's legit sat on her. Yeah, that was
Carmella. She was having fun.
She flat out sat on her.
Let me Okay, now that's the good part of that segment.
Daddy's sitting on somebody. Oh boy.
Carmella. Watching Carmella, it brings me back to like, why didn't they explain why certain people got drafted from NXT? Because it makes it seem like everybody is a doofus because you draft Carmella and not Bayley or Asuka.
Yeah, that's really annoying that we never got like any a 2-sentence explanation, but no.
Carmella, her submission looks good.
Code of Silence.
And I'm sorry. Yes, I like the name. I like the submission, but that's probably the only compliment I have to give to this young lady tonight. I don't like her entrance. I don't have the best voice in the world. That's why, if they gave me a microphone and be like, we want you to talk all during your entrance. I'm like, no, thanks. But we're going to come up with something else, okay? It's annoying. And how is that a face? I didn't even understand. I was like, what is she talking about? I did like how she saw Natty.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the way she worked the match. Her screaming was terrible.
Yeah, her screams are not very good.
She floated into her submission, looked so deliberate that, like, it reminded me of my son's 9. So sometimes he wants to fake wrestle his mother. And it reminded me of, like, when I just let him put me in a submission. That's what it looked like. So, like, she has to get a whole lot better. And I'm not surprised she went over Natty, but like, yeah, but she ain't got no business because she is not better than Natalya. That's exactly what I thought. No.
Yeah, they haven't done her any favors at all. Like, either they need to explain her connection with Enzo and Cass, or have her drop the entrance shtick, because now it just seems like she's doing like a way less good version of Enzo's like bit, and it can't compare it at all. And for people who didn't watch NXT, it's got to be utterly bewildering. Why I don't get her gimmick at all. But so the fact that they didn't run any like vignettes or backstage bits with her like being like even like running into Enzo and Cass at like the draft or something, being like, hey, oh, you got called up, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. It's just something. Explain just a little bit about why we should care about this random woman instead of just like making her be totally random. I mean, yeah, it's still probably not going to work. But like, at least give her a chance, and they really haven't done that, and that's kind of annoying. And I will say this: Natalya made Becky Lynch tap out like 3 weeks ago at a pay-per-view. And I know that you want to give Carmella a win in her debut, obviously, but it makes 0 sense for the card stratification to have Carmella tap Natty clean, who just tapped Becky clean in a pay-per-view match. Like that does not make sense at all, and it doesn't make anyone look like a star. Nobody really looks good in that exchange. And
just Carmella's not being presented well. She doesn't.
No, yeah.
People, especially who, it's some casual fans who actually watch wrestling and can tell the difference between somebody who knows what they're doing and somebody who doesn't. And you would look at Carmella and you would think she doesn't. It's like, why is she here again? She still didn't get to finish her whole speech.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why Enzo's work is because he wrote it and it's catchy. It's got a catchphrase in there.
Right.
He says something and you can't teach that.
Yeah.
and you can't. She is just, hello, get your popcorn ready. Starts babbling on and on. And I'm like, when is this going to end?
That's a really good point, though. Enzo's like bringing the crowd into it, and she's just kind of like yelling, like at the crowd, but not involving them. You know, not like bringing them into it. So they need to rework that. They need to rework that. I did like her. Sorry, go ahead. I did like her. Like obviously baiting Natalya. Like she knew Natty was going to try to attack her from behind. I did like that. So I appreciated that, like making the babyface look a little smart. But this segment didn't really work for her all that much. And also Natalya's taunts are like the weirdest taunts in human history. She's a weird person.
They kind of leaned into how strange she is.
Yeah, that would be good.
It would get her over at a small, not like push her mid card. Somebody you beat on your way to becoming somebody.
Yeah.
Natalya. Showing, have a little month program here and there. Have a tag match. Whatever. But I think too, also, it's not fair because Alexa Bliss, she wasn't like amazing, but she seemed prepared to be in her segment than Carmella.
Yeah,
it just seemed awkward. I like her, but I really think if they were not going to have her with Enzo and Cass, her up. And call up either Billy Kay or Peyton Royce, whichever one. Call them up for no damn reason. And then when you debut Carmella, she's as like Bayley's sidekick or somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't see her ceiling being that high.
Yeah, I don't think it's particularly high either. I think she could have used a lot more time in NXT, to be honest.
Meaning like I think enough of Natalya to think that Carmella in the current state should not be beating Natalya.
Yeah.
But I mean, what can you do?
What can you do? What else is on this show? American Alpha.
Yes, they got a squash match.
They got a squash. Our first squash match on SmackDown Live with local talent. I was absolutely thrilled.
While they were squashing, it wasn't the entire tag team roster because I believe 2 of them are overseas right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else, the rest of the roster.
Yeah, pretty much every other tag team.
And some people were like, well, they stood top. Who were the other tag teams?
The Ascension.
It was the
Hype Bros.
So, all right.
And the Vaudevillains.
And then it was another.
Wasn't there
another team out there?
I don't think so. Was there? Are we forgetting a tag team? Anybody in the thread? Was there a tag team we're forgetting? I don't know. But if there was, they don't matter. So.
I don't have a problem. What my point is, I don't have a problem. American Alpha just geeking everybody out there completely out. I don't.
Yeah, no. The rest of those teams, like none of those.
They're not going to push those teams anyway.
They're not pushing them, and Alpha are your stars there. So you make them look good in the squash match. They get their shit in. They look good there, and then you have them stand up. There had to have been a 4th team there, and I absolutely cannot think of who it was. I have no idea.
Both terrible people.
I know. No, I thank you, Jim, and I already said the Vaudevillains, though. I don't know who it is. So then you have them stand tall over all these other like geek tag teams, So it's like these guys are the real deal. You made them look like the real deal, and that they've done that 2 weeks in a row now. So I'm glad to see that. very glad to see that.
Yeah. Okay. You want to talk about, this is something that ties into what we're going to talk about later on Raw. I just want to get out I'll set the scene up right quick and then get to the point I want to make. The Miz and Maurice had an interview with Renee Young, and it was great because they were talking about and the Miz and Maurice really didn't care. Nope. They were so into each other. They were like, and I was watching them and I thought, this is so cute. Like, I guess we're supposed to actually care about Apollo Crews without having a reason. So it's supposed to be somehow rude. Yeah. They don't care about what's going on, and they're more into each other. But I think it's more endearing that these two people love each other so much. I just wanted to say, Vince McMahon or somebody, whoever is writing this stuff and approving it, they seem to think that two people who love each other unconditionally is a bad thing, and that if you are a part of a relationship like this, you deserve to be ridiculed, mocked, made fun of, humiliated. What the hell is that about?
Yeah, I think that explains a lot about Vince's,
it's going on both shows. And Maurice, that is supposed to be so sickening, and how dare they? And I'm like, that's cute. Honestly, if you're gonna do it, I'd probably be focused on something else. What the hell else were they gonna talk about?
Yeah. Okay,
he got a title shot. You just showed the clips of him doing his little flippy stuff or whatever, just staring at each other. And laying across the table. It was so cute.
They cut back to the Renee stage, and they're just laying across the table from each other. I was just like, oh, this is wonderful. This is spectacular. This is fantastic stuff.
It was the greatest thing.
I don't get. Oh, are you gonna go? Are you gonna do it?
Yeah.
All right.
I just wanted to talk about real quick, because it wasn't a big part of the show. I just wanted to talk about. No, I'm not talking about the Raw thing. I'm talking about Baron Corbin sexually assaulting Kalisto tonight. And I really hope Kalisto went to the police. No. Listen. You gotta draw the line somewhere.
Oh my god! I'm in tears. Oh, Baron Corbin.
That's what he was doing, right? He was sexually assaulting him.
Why are we laughing at that?
Listen. Sexual assault is not funny.
It's not funny. It's not funny, folks.
It's not funny. But Baron Corbin, so on SmackDown, is funny. I'm sorry.
I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming whatsoever.
Can we talk about the best angle on the show now?
It was the best angle on the show. I don't even remember. Heath Slater. Heath Slater. You know what's funny? I literally, because I knew there was going to run some segment with Heath and Rhino tonight. I literally wrote up like 3 paragraphs, like earlier in the day, like preparing what I figured was going to happen and what I was going to say. And I was just totally ripping on the segment. And then and then Heath Slater starts talking about his kids, and he's asked Rhino to lay down for him. And then Rhino
talks about the best excuse not to throw a match ever. God. I have constituents.
I gotta win my primary. Oh shit! Oh yeah, that was golden. Yeah, I love that. Everything about that segment was wonderful. I like to.
It was golden. It was the best. The best part of the show for me. From his kids, he keeps going up in
2
numbers.
2 kids, 4 kids, 7 kids.
Where he actually tries, but it's Heath Slater, so he loses.
Of course he loses.
Where he has talked Shane McMahon into giving this man a damn contract. So pissed off that he talks himself right back on. He wouldn't even let them talk.
Nope.
It was great. It was Heath Slater. He's going. What kind of award he could win at the end of the year, but he deserves some freaking recognition.
Yeah,
because he is making the most out of the draft.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. That's absolutely true. He's
capitalizing the most.
Yeah,
he is so smart. It's a lot of people.
He came out to his match with the free agent shirt on. And then, did you see, under his name? Usually it says, the wrestler's name and then, the show, Raw or SmackDown. It said free agent. Yeah. I was just, I popped huge for that. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm going to put Heath over. I might lead my review with Heath Slater, to be honest. It's entirely possible.
The best. Isn't that the only thing really... Or the only story that's still going from the draft is Heath Slater, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Is Owens still complaining? I think Owens is still complaining, maybe, about where he was drafted. I don't know. That's possible.
Not that much. Well, Cesaro a little bit.
Cesaro got his thing, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But that's for... We got about 10, 15 more minutes before we talk about Raw.
Yeah.
I guess all that is left, because I've avoided it like the plague.
I don't even remember.
Is the Randy Orton.
Oh, yeah, okay. That.
Alberto Del I am going to leave soon. Oh. Okay. For them to get to the point to get to where they were going was basically saying that how much Brock kicks Randy Orton's ass. It's an RKO or 12. And then maybe he has a chance to beat him. So please, Orton, please just don't automatically assume Brock Lesnar's going to win. That's what I got from this segment.
Yeah.
Then to stop saying Viperville.
Viperville I'm so over that. I'll tell you what.
Suplex City was an organic moment.
Yeah.
When 2 men were in the ring on the grandest stage of them all.
Main event.
Environment had a grown-ass 265-pound man and was suplexing his ass. And all he could think was, Suplex City, bitch. That was off the top of his head.
Yeah.
You are not finna invent fictionary towns for every wrestler to go to when they want to kick a little ass. Okay?
The Vaudevillain's Villa. Heath's Hamlet. What else do we got here? All right, I'm not gonna keep doing that. Yeah, I'll tell you what. If Barclay starts a dueling chant of Suplex City, Viperville, I might walk out. So
walk out.
Please don't. Please don't.
Evidence.
Please don't start that chant, Barclays. I don't want to deal with that.
Really? That's something my 9-year-old son, he was like, Viperville. Wonder why they call it that.
Yeah, this match.
I like this show.
Yeah,
match was I get the point, but the only time Alberto Del Rio is only interesting is when he cares.
Yeah.
And he has no reason to care. He knows he's not gonna get pushed. Like he's not with his lady love or whatever the hell's going on with that.
Who knows?
Rumors that he's about to go.
Yeah.
So I know, yeah. He didn't even, they didn't even send him to Australia. Poor Alberto.
Yeah, seriously.
Make that money.
Yeah.
To the company just to get as much money as he could and like, screw you, you're not going on it. Tour.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense because no one really wants to see him, to be fair. But somehow he got out of jobbing tonight. Like he didn't take a loss tonight. They kept him looking strong by being smart and grabbing a chair and hitting Randy Orton with it.
Because Chefs and Benjamin is hurt, so they need all the bodies they can.
That's true. Yeah, can't kill anybody's heat just yet.
Keep him bubbling at the surface.
Fucking hell. Yeah, that match was kind of boring. You know what we haven't talked about tonight is we haven't mentioned commentary, and I think on my end it's just because I no longer hear them. I think I blocked them out successfully.
I still hear them.
Okay,
but I just can't help it.
Sorry.
I think JBL. He's like, okay, so I'm gonna have to be a little bit more professional and help sell some stories because nobody else is doing it. JBL was all right, and I didn't think he was that bad tonight. It was a lot of stuff I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. He was making observations. The thing with Maurice Ronaldo is that times commentators, when they're calling the match, somebody does a slam and they'll say he doesn't talk with the moves a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I don't know. I think Morrow was better tonight. I thought all of them were a little bit, well, besides David Otunga, who's just a wasteland of anything useful.
He didn't say anything offensive to me because he kept Bret Hart's name out of his mouth.
That's true. He didn't screw up Bret Hart's legacy. Apparently, he said something.
Somebody got the word.
Yeah, they listened to you and they said, "Don't fucking piss Tonya off talking shit about Bret Hart." Fuck, man. Apparently, he did say something when Del Rio had the arm breaker in the ropes. The Otunga was like, "Oh, Orton might tap out," even though you can't tap out when you're in a submission holding the ropes. I think that was Rev or Kev Tierney said that in the Daily, I think.
Are we really sure that David Otunga really knows how to wrestle? Are we absolutely certain?
No.
That he knows how to wrestle the match. Okay, so there you go.
Has anyone actually ever seen David Otunga wrestle? It was before my time.
Like a real match. I'm not talking about a squash match. I'm talking like a really real match.
A real match.
Where there's a story and psychology. Him and one other person. I wouldn't even like to see it. I don't care to see it. I saw him in his wrestling trunks a few times, and I thought he looked too big and muscly. I don't like too many. Yeah, go figure. The Reigns mark is like, oh, he's too big.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, David Otunga, that guy, he sucks.
It wasn't good on his end, but fortunately for me, I didn't hear anything. So I still say get rid of him. Yeah,
get rid of him. He talks once every 10 minutes. He does use this like major keynote or something. He keeps saying this. I heard that like twice, and I was just like, I don't even know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. Like, I guess I should look that up on Urban Dictionary or something.
So what you say, if he only talks every 10 minutes or so, what you're saying is Vince is going to snap and fire him eventually.
Yeah.
I don't want him to lose his job if he needs the money or whatever. Just don't work at WWE in any way that affects my entertainment of the product.
Yeah. They should take him off commentary and put him on the pre-show and send Lita to AA or wherever she needs to go.
That's speculation.
That's some speculation on my part. I apologize, but man, she cannot say words good. It's real bad.
She's not very good at getting her thoughts across. But then again, she's fortunate that she came up in the era that she did, because she would have been totally exposed.
Oh,
and
yeah.
there were a lot of other women. We're gonna take a little detour. WWE always talks about Trish and Lita, but I'm sorry, Mickie James, Victoria, and freaking Molly Holly were awesome too. Thank you very much. It wasn't just WWE. They do kind of like, everything was drab. It was just Trish and Lita, and then thank your goodness NXT saved us.
Right.
Yeah, but like Molly Holly was like, if it wasn't for her, okay, Trish probably wouldn't have learned a lot of stuff. Like, who the hell you think she was working with backstage or behind the scenes? So, yeah, Lita's kind of getting exposed to me. Like, I'm kind of like, yeah, but maybe her appeal was just that she was a honorable gorilla, as Broken Matt Hardy calls him. She's a spot monkey.
Spot monkey, yeah.
Oh,
Matt Hardy, what a man!
Actually, the perfect person to access Lita, wouldn't he?
Well, yeah, that would work out pretty well. Huh.
Like, no, but it doesn't seem like she has. Watching her in the pre-show, if you did not watch her,
yeah.
Like, so what was her appeal? Why was she popular? And, she almost broke her neck doing dangerous stuff that other women weren't allowed to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't watching during this time, so all my knowledge is kind of secondhand.
Well, basically what I'm saying is, if they could have went and got any other woman from her era to fill this role, and they would have did a better job, in my opinion. Like, not like any other woman.
Right.
Temporary. Everyone that she worked with that was her equal. I think they would all do a better job than what Lita is bringing to the table.
Yeah. I mean, I thank God she's not agenting the women's matches anymore, which have markedly improved ever since she was removed from those duties, I would note. So at least they pulled her off of that, I guess. I don't know why I'm bearing Lita right now.
I've started on this long enough.
All right, let's do it.
The WWE has 2 shows. One, but we do take time every week to talk about one thing, one issue or angle. I'm dreading talking about it now. Raw, the previous night, a lot of you may have noticed Rusev and Lana, a celebration of their wedding or whatever the heck it was, and there was cake, and Lana was in that some people would say looked nice, but I don't know. It wasn't my taste. I thought Rusev and Lana, in the role that they were playing as the arrogant, uber successful, we're so in love, we are European, we are better. You guys, you can't even afford rent. And that line from Lana, that was funny. I'm supposed to hate these people. I don't look up to Rusev. I said on the very first podcast I've ever done for CSS that Rusev is a creep. I have not changed my mind on that. I think he's a creep. Have that creepy vibe for me, especially after the incident with the cold fish. It's because they are out there being assholes and dicks to the crowd. It does not mean that the person that I want to support and see beat them up the same way or worse. And let me preface all of this by saying I thought Roman did pretty well in that segment. He was relaxed. He was being a dick. It's like, that's his natural, that's how he come across. And he's a little smart ass and he gets his digs. And I liked things that were obviously not a part of the script, like drinky drink. Ain't nobody in the fucking writing team come up with drinky drink. That was Roman. Chucking the glass. And most definitely him saying, hey, that was all him. I also liked after Lana went into the cake, his reaction. It was funny. And he was having fun with what the role he was playing. But make no mistake, he was playing a dick. And that the character he was playing, I think it is a compelling character, but not for somebody you want to cheer. If Roman Reigns was wreaking havoc on all the faces in the manner that he did last night, motherfuckers would love him. They were like, oh my God, here he comes. What the fuck is he gonna do to these poor people? Oh, I can't wait till somebody kicks his ass. But then he gets in the ring. Yeah, they gotta be pretty fucking good if they want to kick his ass. And that's why he acts like that. To me, Roman Reigns behaving like that kind of makes sense with who he is and how he came up. He's fucking Samoan wrestling royalty. He had a Fallout show where WWE helicoptered this motherfucker through Los Angeles so he could make an airplane. Later, that's not something you see that, oh yes, I want to cheer for that son of a bitch that's living a way better life than me. This is a heel masquerading as a face. He didn't even come out and defend the crowd that Rusev and Lana were calling poor, because Roman thinks they're poor too. Roman don't pretty much like these people either. He just wants to tie the shot. So, like, I don't understand why when I make this, like, okay, Andrew, because have I said anything that was factually wrong about that segment?
No. No, you have not. So then, why is it if I say things like this? And remember, I'm a huge fan of this guy. I became a fan of this guy because I learned that he knew he was going to get the rocket strapped to his ass, but he also had a hernia. So he was like, I can go get this fixed and possibly miss this, or I can make this money. Oh, well, I'm going to push this hernia back in and keep on wrestling. Now, that is stupid as fuck. But for some reason, I was like, God damn, I am never going to dislike this person ever again, am I? I don't know what it was when I found out. Like, I was iffy as fuck about Roman Reigns and getting pushed. And I was like, I don't know. He ain't ready. And then I heard that. I was like, shit, I don't give a fuck. He can get ready. Can we hold the push? Can we keep it like in a warmer? We don't have to serve the push yet. And what's a shame to me is that the man that I saw in the ring would kind of be ready for a if it hadn't been ruined by now. Mm-hmm. And because it's been ruined, and I some of these people, I swear to God, I don't even think they're Roman Reigns fans. They are. The IWC hates Roman Reigns. So anytime I see somebody criticize Roman Reigns, I'm going to jump down their throat and tell them they're wrong. And this is how look, I don't care if the WWE has been booking their faces like this forever. I didn't like Hulk Hogan, okay? So boom, blam, there you go. Okay, this is going to grab somebody's hearts because I love him. I appreciate everything he's done for the business. During the Attitude Era, during his heyday, there was not one wrestler that I could not stand more than Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Do you understand me? So people coming to me, in my opinion, with the argument, faces act like dicks. What do you want? I want a face that acts like fucking Sting. Okay? I want a face that acts like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I want one that act like Daniel Bryan. Came out there, and Lana could have ended up in the cake. He could have still challenged him, but he did not have to call that woman a freaking mail order bride. He did not have to insult either one of them. He didn't have to say anything about their sex life. Him up. I could see if they were talking shit about, oh, Roman Reigns is a loser and he sucks and he failed a drug test. Then yeah, come out there and take the shit out of him for a second and then get back on topic. Like the shit that goes on with WWE feeling like you have to insult somebody to make, I don't like that shit. And when I make my opinion, please do not tell me what the crowd like has been doing. If the shit was working so well, they wouldn't have had to split the roster and have to do all this topsy-turvy shit to try to get people to watch again. About stuff that's out. It's time for them to think outside the box. They actually have somebody that I think in Roman Reigns could make them a lot of fucking money. They don't want him to make the money the way that he can make the fucking money. They want him to make the money the way they want it to. Every time you argue for bullshit, let me just say, I like that segment, but it was still two assholes having a go at each other. And don't tell me who I should fucking cheer for. I want them both to beat the shit out of each other and then Cesaro to come win the damn title. Now what? I want. Because Cesaro, I haven't seen him come out and insult anybody. And he wrestled 2 goddamn matches last night in Sports Entertainment. And where the hell was Roman Reigns when Sheamus, who I thought Sheamus, oh, you only hate Sheamus when he's costing you titles, huh, Roman? I know, I ain't forgot. The next time you see Tonya Rodgers criticizing Roman Reigns on anything in the thread, make sure you read my comment before you jump down my throat. Because I got so many arguments in the thread, and it wasn't even about what I was saying. And most of the people, well, The Rock and John Cena did it, and neither have ever been one of my favorite wrestlers. So why should that matter to me? Done. Andrew, you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things. I think I have a face for you that was acting in a way that you would appreciate. And I think everyone here can see the shirt.
And that's why I love Bailey.
Yeah, see the shirt that I'm wearing root for a good person, root for Bailey. Yeah, Roman last night was kind of like in the classic John Cena douchebag role, and that's a role I also have always hated. And I also agree with you. I didn't like Austin. And I absolutely hated The Rock, and still pretty much do to this day. I never liked any of those characters. So I agree with you. I think Roman played his role, like the douchebag dickhead role, really well. I really liked the grabbing the champagne, down in it, and throwing the glass, and then immediately getting another. I really liked the line about put all that beef away or whatever. I was like, okay, that's a really good line. But I hated everything about the segment because as soon as the cakes came out, I knew Lana was ending up in one of them, and just as a way to basically demean her as a person, especially after you call her a mail order bride, for no apparent reason, considering these two people, as we've seen on their social media accounts, which are kayfabe, which are acknowledged in kayfabe, clearly seem to love each other quite a bit. So I don't really understand where that dig came from, which was wholly unnecessary and not something I want to see. When someone says that, I'm not going to cheer for that person, straight up, as you were saying. That's never going to work for me, and it never has worked for me before. So yeah, I agree with you. I'd like to see baby faces be baby faces and not be fucking douchebag assholes. But I did think Roman did well. And I've got another thing to say about another one of the old Shield brethren. As a fellow Iowan, I just would like to point out that Seth Rollins is making Iowans look bad when he comes out. When he comes out and starts talking for 10 minutes about literally nothing, and is in his most annoying voice possible, which I don't think is. That's kind of both shoot and kayfabe. Like it's not a voice that makes me want to listen to his pitch to sell the match on me. It just makes me want to turn away, and it's annoying because I really want to like Seth because again he's an Iowan and I fucking love all Iowans. But it's very, very frustrating when I see people in the threads being like, oh, yeah, Seth's promo was great, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, have you ever listened to a good fucking wrestling promo in your life if you can say that Seth's promo from Monday was good?
This is my opinion, and I've had time to digest it over a year. I honestly think he is not the exact character, the promo style. He's trying to emulate CM Punk. However, he doesn't have the presence or command over his speech. CM Punk, first of all, knew who the fuck he was. So whatever he said, CM Punk went out there plenty of times and gave promos just like that. But they were entertaining because he knew how to deliver them, knew how to pace them. And, you know, he's just a much better talker. You have to... I don't know, but Seth is best talking, interacting, not in a monologue. Mm-hmm. I liked him best when he was with J&J Security. I did.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that. I actually like that relationship.
That was the last time I really liked him, though. Yeah. It's sad.
Yeah, smarmy ass J&J Security.
I like that banter with him too.
I think the interesting thing about Seth coming out and doing a 10-minute monologue, which died a death and honestly made the Universal title feud look worse than it was beforehand, was his opponent in that feud, Finn Balor, just got to cut a nice little 4-minute pre-taped bit about explaining his character name and what it means, and giving a little backstory on the Demon. And I think the way that was done, I know Seth is also Triple H's boy, but we should quite acknowledge here that Finn Balor is absolutely Triple H's golden boy here. And the way that he's presented and protected from exposing his frailties as a performer has been, frankly, pretty marvelous. And I just like to give an all hail for Triple H for managing to get Finn Balor over in the way that he has done so.
Yeah, all hail, and we shall see after SummerSlam. That's
we'll see. But maybe Finn will come out and start doing like 10-minute promos. I don't think so.
Oh, good. Please not.
Because we'll have Bailey up to save the show, to run the show. So then we'll be fine. We'll be good.
I gave SmackDown an 8 out of 10 just because the women and Heath and the things that were kind of, they weren't offensive. It was okay. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Pretty good show. So.
Yeah. You guys are gonna have to read my review in about an hour and a half to see what I gave it. But
before we get up out of here,
okay.
These are my two main questions. Right. What is Bray Wyatt doing in the main event scene in SmackDown?
I have no answer.
Neither do I.
I really don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Because I think this might be what we talk about mostly from Raw next week. Do you think we get to see the demon. Is the actual demon Finn Balor's alter ego going to come out on Raw, or are they going to save that for SummerSlam?
They need to save that for SummerSlam.
I think they're going to tease it, but they're going to save it.
They could tease it. Sure, they could tease it, but they need Finn to come out and be like, nah, you're not. This ain't the time, you know.
You don't control. Yeah, you don't control. I summon the demon. You don't summon the. That's what I want to see Finn say. But it's been a great hour. My little rant about Roman Reigns aside, I had a pretty good time tonight.
I think everybody enjoyed that rant, to be honest. I think that's gonna. I think that might go viral. That Tonya bomb. I think that's your best Tonya bomb. That's your best Tonya bomb ever. I think, to be honest. And they all come from the heart. Sincerely, I want to thank everybody for watching. We really appreciate you. Thank you, folks.
We're going to stick with SmackDown. I am not going to give up on WWE, and not because of the people running the company, but because I love the people that work there, as we all do. That's it for this week.
Good night, folks.
Bye-bye.